Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back to some more medieval action for you here today as we have the Ottoman Turks preparing for battle. And in today's 1212 AD battle, we have them allying up with their rivals, the Byzantine Empire, the people they want to usurp and replace in both the Eastern and the West. And yeah, this is going to be certainly a very, very interesting battle. We'll see how this one goes on. The Byzantines here, the Empire of Nicaea, which is pretty much the Byzantine Empire. Then we have the Ottoman Turks down the center here. And then over on this flank here, we do have the French as well. The frog-eating Frenchies, who did ally with the Turks at one point. So this kind of makes a bit more historical sense, I guess. The Turks did employ themselves as mercenaries for the Byzantines at points as well, so I guess that makes sense as well. We also have the Seljuk Turks here, which are like the guys that come before the Ottomans. We have them on this left-hand side facing off against the French. Down the middle here with the Khwarazmian Empire with some war elephants at gold chevron here, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. And then very far on this flank over here, we have the Danish, or the Norwegians actually, I think these are, not the Danish, the Kingdom of Norway, which will be very, very interesting to see how they go down. Much more interesting and weird alliance going on over there, I feel like, in the team in red rather than the team in yellow and blue. My cavalry here getting focused down. This was just a custom game that we did on the server a couple of days ago. And yeah, it was a pretty fun one. Definitely a really close one. Both sides down to pretty much not a lot left by the end. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Looks like there's a lot of gunners here. There was no sort of cap on tiers, so anyone could bring anything they like. So we've got some tier 3s here. I have seen tier 2s in the Norwegian army. And I think there's also tier 1s with those war elephants. The Khwarazmians are actually technically a tier 1. Got a rush of cavalry here. Balkan nobles dashing forward here from the Seljuk plain. He's going to get all these gunners here. He actually is going to get these Kulvarinas without any sort of issue. Not got a great charge that he says a flush on charge, but still not bad. They are going to charge into a whole lot of French chevaliers as well. But yeah, the nobles continue to chase down the gunners here. It could be a massive loss. Gunners, really, really big meta play in 12-12 games. They are quite expensive, but they are very good. Good at armor piercing and do a lot of damage to morale as well, which can be very important in a close game, and especially armor piercing as well, especially when you're facing tier 3 cavalry units, which are heavily armored by this point. So crossbows and bows don't necessarily do the job in enough time. Javis certainly will, and that is what the Seljuks also bringing. They're bringing the Haremi here, which is a jab unit. And I think they are just jabbing at the dismounted French chevaliers back here. Whether the trees are blocking most of the shots, I think they might be, unless they're aiming for this unit here. Not really sure which one they're aiming at. They are fighting one of them down here. We've got the Baltisi Guard down here as well, which is a pole arm unit. They are fighting it out with the French chevaliers, and they haven't really set up properly, so they are losing, but they also only light pole arms, so whether armor has something to do with it, I'm not entirely sure. We have had a bit of a cav charge, and that's continuing to go on. The Ottomans here joining in the fight against their fellow Turks. Turkish civil war taking place here as they go in, doing as much damage as they can. Yeah, the general going in here as well. We've got a bit of a cav charge going in over here, as well as the looks like the Khwarazmian Empire also gets involved in the fight here. I'm trying to put out the fight. I'll go with my gunners quite heavily, and there go the Danes. A brilliant volley though as they hit my gunners. I mean, I couldn't ask for much more than that. The hospitality here absolutely mowed them down though. It's kind of was in the end kind of quite a good bait, because I managed to pin all this cavalry down, and I've got no support from infantry. Well, I can get my own support here to support against cavalry. The Khwarazmians go in again with their cav there, and the Turks trying to support me with their Azaps. We've got a general going in here, again going after gunners. Gunners just easy targets if they manage to get caught out. My cav over here has been caught out as well in a charge, being charged by the Hospitallers, my better cavalry as well, which is a shame. My general here needs to sort himself out, get him charged off on the Hospitallers.
The men are broken and running for their
lives.
lives.
All starting to look a little bit shady over here. The Khwarazmian Empire now engaged fully against the Ottomans here in the centre. Two Muslim powers facing each other. So it looks like the Italians are providing a lot of the manpower there for the Ottomans, and already this is looking pretty bad here for the Seljuks. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it looks like France and the Ottomans have double teamed here. The Seljuks, and they are getting beaten back quite heavily here. Got a good jump as well on the French. The French are in all sorts of problems. But with the cavalry, really, of the Ottomans arriving and starting to rear charge over here, he's done a lot of damage. French Chevaliers also still doing damage. Ottoman Janus, well, sorry, Seljuk Janissaries, they're doing their bit. French general has died, though. King of France has routed. He's getting run down by the Sultan there. Whether he can get out of that, because that could be huge. You never know. France might just have a mass rout. There you go. Ally has died. That is the French general gone. There are still a lot of Turkish troops over here. And yeah, already look at that wave of 113 men. That's insane. We've got another general dying here as well. Krasmir general going in deep. He's been beaten back by Ottoman Turks. And the war elephants are going in as well. And they have gone in deep. And they are getting routed by the gunners and sent berserk as well, which is not helping. They're getting javied as well by Azap swordsmen. The front lines here, they're holding. I'm starting to turn around these cav fights here. I did lose my most elite cav, but a secondary cavalry going in, starting to turn these fights around. Getting into archers over here with my Byzantine cav, a merely grazer archer unit before going for the rear charge here onto this mass of infantry. Trying to hit these guys as much as possible. Not too shabby there, that's for sure. Already starting to wave those pikes. This solid line here of infantry is certainly starting to turn in favor of the Norwegians routing my infantry here. I think it's because of, I realized later, because of the Ottoman and my own gunners. They're shooting themselves in the back. It's causing their units to rout here as well, like cav, but doing more damage to me in some ways. We've won another cav fight out here as well, which is huge. Now the Ottoman cav can now shift over this side. It's been so far the MVP of this game so far. My general getting into the archers back here. Archers definitely not worth bringing. They're tier 1 as well. The Norwegian player was complaining, saying, I've hit your general so many times with these archers, because he's tier 3, so much more armored than these tier 1 and 2 bows are. And do so much more damage. But yeah, with the Ottoman cav getting in the back line, so if we can get this general, his rear guard, be a huge, huge result. Good volley there, that might rout him, so big damage. Hasn't routed him, sadly. Ottoman front line is still holding here quite nicely. They're having a good old pole-arm fight, which the Italians are losing. These fights over here. And this fight's still not over, actually. The Turks still sort of come back from this a little bit. I thought they kind of sorted this out. Yeah, the Ottomans have... sorry, the Seljuks have come back from this. Very confusing with Turks on both sides. Yeah, the Seljuks kind of come back a little bit. The Ottomans have to send their cav back in a little bit. France is kind of spent. He's got most of his like elites still alive. Some of his chevaliers, and he's got the Swiss pikes, and he's got a very heavy mounted French chevalier alive. The Krasmir Empire setting up a bit of a cordon to sort of guard his flank, as he's sort of winning his center fight there against the Ottomans at the moment. This is looking quite shaky over here. The starting to break through me are the Norwegians. And as you can see, yeah, the infantry here just kind of beating mine. I don't even really know why. These are tier 2. They are still with chevron, which might have something to do with it. But also gunners not helping. General has died. That is the Norwegian general run down by mine. We need to start cycle charging these swords, just hitting them as much as possible. Go into a cav charge there, or to dismounted hospitalers. Yeah, tier 2 one as well. It's insane. The Varangians have been in. They are there. But where else are they? Have they already been routed? They might have been. But I had sent both of them in at different points. I think they have both been either killed off or damaged into them. I don't know where the other one is. There is a tier 3 Varangian knocking about. Oh, it's in here. And it's winning its fight against pikes. It has no right to win this fight, but it is. Boys in red, slicing and dicing. And they can get rear charges now as well. Can the swords there, my elite swords, have survived the Paramanoi and the Catalanoi. Krasmir Empire now fighting on 2 fronts as the French start to arrive out of the forest, having been aided in their victory over the Turks, the Seljuk Turks, I mean, by the other Turks. Very confusing. Yeah, these Kolokoi spearmen, they're going to hold for a while. They're medium, but they look pretty heavily armored, but they're going to get rear charged here by Chevaliers. Surprisingly, Krasmir Empire held on pretty well. His general actually rallied, so he didn't die, as thought earlier. As I was about to say, his army's done well to survive with no general. He hasn't quite. My cav here is about to rout. We need to somehow pin down this hospitality and soon try and beat that. We are mopping up these medium spears over here with some of our other cavalry. My really good cav returned the Hippo Paramanoi, which are also getting shot by Turks. They're not really helping me out are the Turks. You know, like I said, they are rivals at the end of the day, both Byzantines and Turks. Turks want their side to win, but they also want the Byzantines to lose. That's at all possible. And there you go. Routing that unit there. The pikes are finally gone. And it looks like, I mean, there's still a fair amount of Danes here, but they have no general, and they are wavering. Getting shot here is doing a lot of damage. I think that's, from the gunners of the Ottomans.
Cowards!
This fight, yeah, I mean, the Khazarian Empire over here is getting stretched. There's so many gaps around them. There's not really a solid formation. They've been stretched out trying to fight elsewhere. And the Turks and the French are slowly picking them apart. We've got Janissaries here, slicing and dicing their way through spears. Spears are much better in 12-12 now. They're better than swords in some cases. Or in quite a lot of cases. But the axes and shock will beat spears still. It's the good old Attila combo. Shock will beat spears.
The unit is running
gunners
from the
here,
enemy.
I mean, they're just shooting fellow Venetian matchlockmen. Very cool unit. The general for the Turks here is getting shot at, and he's pretty badly banged up. We've got Cav in the back lines here. I think it's... Oh no, I was thinking, is it farming? It might have just gone to try and chase down that general and kill him and get a bit of a quicker mass route going for the Krasmarines. Not to be the case. Denmark has been defeated. It just took a charge here from the Turks and also some of my infantry here to subdue not the Danes and Norwegians. They are finally being dealt with. And yeah, I mean, now we have 2,300 left against 1,100. Krasarian Empire, I felt like it kind of gone in early with those elephants and it hadn't worked out. They've held their line well. Hold on there. The shock is beating them, crazy enough. I mean, I don't really know how well Polem's match against shock. Maybe it also has a lot to do with army losses and other stuff as well taking place. Yeah, and they are routed there. We have got French Chevaliers over here. They're wavering at 107. Shows how fragile their morale is with no general. How much the Ottoman Turks were needed to save their flank. Could have easily been changed if the Seljuks hadn't killed that general. Been able to stay in the game a little longer. Morale is so important in 12-12 as well. It really is. If you lose your general and you don't kill theirs off pretty quickly, it's over, to be honest. It really is. And I don't say that lightly. It doesn't happen all the time, but often the armies will capitulate, especially with gunners. Like if you kill off a general and then you have gunners on your side, it's quite easy to mass route stuff. Like minus 13 morale with a gun like a volley from the handgunners is insane. It really is. I mean, it obviously does a lot of morale damage to yourself, as you can see here. I think the Venetians have routed their own archers while they tried to take out the French Chevaliers. They have routed the French Chevaliers, and those Turkmen archers might re-rally. And that was a healthy French Chevalier earlier. I mean, still 20 out of 70. You wouldn't usually route, but no general makes the difference. Varangian's going in here to the spears. Only my elites are really standing anyway as it is. My Varangians and my elite swords. There you go. Cav charge coming in. I think that is, yeah, my cavalry again going in. Stratiotes. They're going in there, routing the spears, getting a nice rear charge there with the Ottoman shock infantry there, combining together very nicely. They've routed them. At this point, I think the Ottoman player was just, busy doing fun formations. He'd really done with his cavalry, but no, he was like, no. He's just left it to my cavalry, which is down to 20 troops, which at this point was getting shot at by fire arrows, which is another very good way, and it is one way, if you are using archers, that you can make an impact in the game. Even if you can't kill stuff, you can route stuff. -4 morale is still pretty huge in prior projectile damage. It's happening over here as well. That's how they're trying to challenge with the French gunners. Going to try and route them that way. They haven't lost their general, have the Krasmarines. He has routed. So in theory, yes, quote unquote, they've lost him. But he's not got the same morale debuff as, say, the French. You have a bigger morale debuff for losing your general, like he's dead, kill the battle, rather than him just running away and running away off the battlefield. I feel like Tier 2 Byzantines are my favourite type of Byzantine, certainly for their infantry. I feel like they just get a little bit too colourful by Tier 3. The Varangian's going to here. Certainly I wouldn't say Varangian Tier 3 is my favourite. Tier 1 or Tier my favorite. I mean, the tier 3 still looks pretty damn nasty, though. It is the best shock in the game. These guys are capped at 1, and they're capped at 1 for a reason. Guys have like 50-something melee attack, 56, I think it is. But there you go, with the routing of those archers, and I think it is the French actually getting into the... oh, it is the Janistries shock getting into the Venetian matchlock then. It looks like they are finally going to rout each other. And they're going to rout the Krasmarians as well, and that is going to be GG, yeah. Over here, these archers just rejoining the fight quickly to be routed once more. Yeah, pretty close one. I mean, 1,600 left. We were actually outnumbered by about 1,000 troops and managed to win that game, which was pretty impressive, I thought, especially since like they had things like elephants as well, which will bring down your numbers. I was pretty impressed with that. With that victory, especially since I felt like on both flanks did not go well. Turks, in the sense of the Ottomans, did a really good job in supporting the French, and then came over and sort of supported me after I kind of started to lose my cav fights. It was kind of a poor micro from me. But there you go, a Pyrrhic victory for the Byzantine and Turkish alliance, and the French were there too. But yes, well done to everyone that took part in that one. And a really good fight. I felt like all these players here are really, really good 12-12 players, bar myself. I would not put myself in that category. But yeah, some really good 12-12 players there on both sides. I was playing as the Empire of Nicaea, 263 kills. My general's not too shabby. My Varangian's getting 123 and 218 kills. My like cheap swords not doing so great, but my more expensive swords did very well, 129, 143. The gunners sadly got charged, never really had to much late game impact. Hipper Paramanoi getting 120 kills, 120 kills of Stratiotes there. Another one got 260 kills. And then we have Dostil playing as the Kingdom of France, spamming out the shock. I mean, some did really well, 329, 166. But yeah, some 31 kills is pretty rough. His general, 44 kills before he fell. And that kind of unraveled his army. Though some of his gunners did well, 161. And his cav, 391 kills. Actually better than his really expensive Gentiles, which are arguably one of the best cav in the game as well. Then you have Bulk here, playing as the Ottomans, 338 kills with his Sultan bodyguard there, 280 kills, 241 kills with the Janissary shock. His infantry, basic infantry, not doing so great. His gunners did pretty well, 136, 124, and his cav, excellent, 218, 593 kills, 464 kills. Very, very good. Those guys coming in clutch and still really healthy. I mean, they just help massively, helping Dostil against the Seljuks and then me against the Norwegians. And then we have K1 playing as the Krasmarian Empire, 124 kills with his gen there. His spears, which he spammed out a whole bunch of these guys. They must have been pretty cheap, but they seem to, hold the line and not getting bad kills. 94, 98, 99. It's not bad for a spear. Polearm's getting 153 kills. His archers actually did not too bad as well. 167 kills, 179. I don't know what they were shooting, but they did pretty well. His Venetian Matchlockman, 141 kills. And his Cav, 147 kills. Went in early and kind of, killed my gunners, but after that was disappeared. And his Elephant's only 87 kills, sadly. And then we have Thundernut playing as the Kingdom of Norway. I mean, one of his Cav did well, 140 kills. The other's not so great. His swords, 103 kills. His Hospitalis, again, the best, 144, 111. And his general getting 61 kills before he fell. And then Geo playing as the Sultanate of Rum, the other, Turkish faction. Getting 83 kills with his general, 89 with his Janissary shock infantry, which I don't know why they have the Janissaries as well, the Seljuks. They didn't have Janissaries. That's an Ottoman thing. Odd that they're still in this roster, in my opinion. They should try and vary Rum and Ottomans rosters a bit more. But yeah, 75 kills of the Baltisi Guard. Yeah, and 81 kills of the Nobles. Sadly, getting double teamed. Geo didn't allow himself to be able to register a lot of kills. But there you go. That is today's 12-12 AD battle. If you did enjoy and want to see more medieval action on the channel, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment show support. And I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye for now.